Yo, what's up guys, welcome to my humble YouTube channel where I bring you fanfiction that will brighten your days. Before we start, a subscribe is greatly appreciated, and don't forget to leave a like and ring the bell icon so you won't miss exciting new fanfiction stories. Oshi no Ko X Tensura by StaciaPLE. Chapter 4 Superstar. The rough outline of the plot is that a woman with zero confidence in her appearance for some reason goes to a sketchy hospital deep in the mountains to get plastic surgery. Me, Aqua, and Arima were to play as the creepy children that she encounters at the entrance to that village. Or so was mine originally. A sudden role was added by the director. Aqua's role was adjusted to match the sudden change, and so was Arima's. Right before we began filming, Arima found out about the change and came to find me. Huh? Why do you have that role? That wasn't in the script. I don't have the same role as you. Kana, Arima, or what's her name, complained directly to my face. Oh, I don't get it either, but it is what it is, you know. It was time to put on the most evil face I could pull off. I mean, I don't have the same role as you, but let's all do our best. Kana. Arima was visibly upset. I knew she would throw a tantrum, so I closed her mouth with my palm before she could make a mess. I suggest you don't throw a fit. This might be too much to ask for a child her age, but the second she threw those words at all mercy I had dropped to zero. Kana. Arima didn't end up distracting everyone in the end. Phew, that's one mini disaster avoided. This is only just the beginning. I've also got to beat her in acting. Just you wait. Kana. Arima stormed off somewhere after saying those words. To beat an actual child prodigy isn't easy. However, once you've become an adult, you would know what goes on in their minds. That's my advantage against this inexperienced child. To control everyone's attention is my goal. Alright kid, do you realize what I've done for you? The director picked me up and started headed for the area they're gonna film me in. I've not put myself in a do or die situation. If this movie even fails to reach the sales and buzz the higher ups requested, I will get fired. Whoa, why the extremely high stakes? Judging by your face, you do realize. Alright, I want you to put on your best performance. It doesn't matter whatever you do, just make sure you do it like you mean it. The director's face made me snap out of my childish thoughts from earlier. He's dead serious. And here I was just trying to get back at Kana. Arima for hurting my feelings. I'm so stupid. The reason why I'm here isn't to bicker and argue with a child, but because I was selected to portray a character in a film. There's not only I writing on us performing well now, but also the director. I can't help but hate it when something's gonna go wrong because of me. It was time to put on a show. Don't worry, director. You just need me to attract the viewers, right? Yes. Alongside that idol, you and she could become an absolute duo in this film. Then don't worry. With the blessings I have received in the form of the genes of the idol you hired, this show will definitely succeed. I will make sure it does. A fire was lit inside Rimaru's heart. Rimaru at her core was not someone anyone could belittle. With her 8-pointed star pupil radiating a charming light, the director subconsciously let out a smile. The director had arrived with the child actor he had quite forcibly inserted in the cast. He had gone so far as to change the entire backbone of the script to fit this child's role. Originally, the only time the child actors appeared was only on one specific part. And yet, everything was changed because of this one child. The entire crew looked at the child with deep analytical eyes. Get moving. We're gonna start filming now. The role the child was gonna play was quite big. A deity who oversees this haunted village. Not only will the child have to play as a divine figure, but she'd also need to add a creepy aspect to it. That would be impossible for a child her age. Just what is the director thinking? Everyone paid attention to Rimaru, awaiting her performance. Some were expecting a total flop, but others expected a surprise. After all, the director went out of his way to move everything to almost a total mess because of her. As soon as the camera was ready, Rimaru's aura felt off. A chill went down the cameraman's spine. Rimaru's gaze drew in their gazes at once. In this scene, the protagonist stumbled upon Rimaru as she was wandering around the village. Rimaru greeted the protagonist, "Welcome. To what do I owe the pleasure?" This childlike expression with the vocabulary of an adult portrayed a magnificent scene. The protagonist responds, I was wondering if you knew the way to this hospital," to which the protagonist showed Rimaru a picture of the hospital. Rimaru's smile deepened. With her small stature, a simple upwards gaze could freeze the protagonist in place. "Oh, I see you've come here with a very big purpose, dear visitor. Rimaru's eyes froze the protagonist in place, even when she was supposed to reply at this part. Instead of stopping the film, the director kept it going. Nobody objected. Rimaru took one step forward. Respond. Rimaru's tone went ice cold. A cold robotic tone that seemed to care for nothing. I repeat, respond. Everyone was dead set on capturing the scene before them. Their bodies weren't responding to their brains, but they didn't even know this fact. Rimaru's pupils glowed brightly. Rimaru's irises glowed a deep crimson red. But the staff merely thought it was because of the lighting and angle. To be so afraid as to freeze in place, is your resolve that frail? After a short silence, the protagonist snapped out of it and responded as she realized filming was still ongoing. And no, I've come so far, why would I back out now? I see, you, Rimaru smiled and pointed at the protagonist, should go home. Huh? That's not part of the script. Everyone thought the scene was ruined and turned to look at the director. But the director did not change face, he wanted to keep going. The protagonist was just as confused. What do you mean? It seems you don't understand. Rimaru's figure somehow seemed bigger. This is my home, my family and friends are here, my people, those who I care about rest in this village. Do you think I would let you walk around scot-free? The actor of the protagonist herself did not know what to do. You're kicking me out because of that. At this point, the actor of the protagonist spoke her own true words in response to Rimaru. Rimaru's eyes turned crimson red. I let you in to examine you, and now you've displayed your intentions. Scram. Leave. Leave this place now before I get rid of you. Rimaru's tone was so high you could call it a shriek. It was as if she was perfectly mimicking the sound ghosts would make in other horror movies without any editing. The director's eyes were so bright watching Rimaru display her talents on film. Cut. Cut. This is it. This is exactly what I saw in you. You surpassed what I envisioned and gave me more, to perfectly dominate that scene even when you went off the prepared script and lines I gave you. Only a superstar could make the flow of filming bend to their wills. The director wasn't alone in his words. What a way to make me work, young lady. You had me on the edge of my seat at the end there. The cameraman was wholeheartedly trying to find the words to express what he had just felt. Only the cameraman had it in him to find the right words to say, though. The other staff were either still stuck at that moment or were too much at a loss of words to move or say anything. It's like you were born with special editing effects naturally built in you wherever you go. You couldn't have said it better, man. Aren't you all convinced now? Why I chose to change everything to insert her in this film? The director raised both of his arms high and wide towards the staff and crew. Rimaru felt embarrassed and jumped, trying to pull the director's arms down. Stop this. You're making a scene. Huh? You're one to talk, kid. And besides, we're in the entertainment industry. We're made to make a scene. The director was sound. Soon, everyone else was agreeing with the director's words. Some even went as far as to say that the director had found a hidden diamond within Rimaru. The director had a hilarious response. You're wrong there. A diamond isn't worth her potential and talent. Choose something else. This charade would continue until Miyako came over to take Rimaru away since it was lunchtime. Rimaru only had that part to film, even with a big role. Rimaru's performance turned the director's lengthy script into a sublime poem. Kana Arima was watching Rimaru's performance from afar. She had followed the director to watch Rimaru during her filming to observe just how good Rimaru was. What she saw was anything but good. It was perfect. No way. No way. Why is she so good? Kana Arima couldn't help but blush at the sight of Rimaru's act. With every little movement and change in expression, Kana Arima found herself drawn in. Beside her was Aqua, who also followed them. Aqua had a rather pompous stance. HMPH. See that? That's my sister at work. She's a big fan of the idol you had thrashed with your words earlier. When she gets serious, her performances turn out like this. Aqua wasn't trying to act arrogant or tried to rub it in, but as a fan of Rimaru, he couldn't help but speak that way. Shut up. I'm done dealing with you two. Especially you. You talk so big yet you're not even the one performing. Arima's face was beet red, but Aqua didn't see since she had her back towards him. This is stupid. This is unfair. Why does it have to end up like this? Kana Arima had now become a fan of Rimaru. In the future, she would become one of Rimaru's most zealous fans.